Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Good day, everybody, and welcome to another incredible episode of the Real Film Nerds Podcast. My name is Matt. I'm a podcaster. With me, as always, my good buddy, who's also a podcaster, and a drinker, and a partier, and a troublemaker?
I wouldn't say the troublemaker, but I'll take the other things. I'm Mysterious Mike Talent.
Woo! The true talent of the pod.
Yes. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully it's great.
Hopefully it's not snowing.
Yeah, is it snowing there?
Dude, it feels like it. It really feels like it. And, you know, they're doing the courthouse lighting and the parade and all the Prescott-y things today. So in the spirit of all things that are Prescott, including this podcast, which is based in Prescott, there was something pretty sweet that dropped this week on Netflix. We have talked about it on the podcast before. I refrained from going and seeing this in the theaters. I refrained from going and seeing the premiere that was here. They called it the Arizona premiere. It is now out on Netflix. Mr. Mysterious Mike Talent was able to see it. It is a Prescott-based film, almost 100% filmed here in Prescott, and that is the true story called Wishman. Mike, you want to give us the rundown?
Yes. So before I get to the rundown real quick, I'm just going to say this is episode number 149. And
oh, good call, man. Sorry, I forgot. I'm a slacker. I'm going to make that your job, too, because you take notes now. See, I don't take notes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So the rundown for this movie is movie is about a police officer who struggles with his past while trying to be a good person. As fate would have it, this is an origin story about a non-profit organization. This is directed and written by Theo Davies, starring cast Andrew Steele, Kirby Bliss Blanton. Sorry, Matt. Matt was thinking that it was like the whiskey Blanton's.
Delicious whiskey. I need to find that. They have it like down in Phoenix at that what's that really expensive liquor store beer thing that's like nationwide? Bevmo.
Yeah, I think Bevmo is one of them.
There's like 4 of them down in Phoenix, and it's at the one that's like the farthest frickin' away, and it's still like $70 a bottle. I'm like, I don't know. Might have to wait, even though that whiskey was delicious.
Yes. Also starring in this movie is Robert Pine. That's all I have for the rundown on this one.
No Tom Sizemore?
No, I mean Tom Sizemore's in it, but it's not for very long, so I didn't include him in the stars.
Yeah, he's in there, but he's not. He's just a big named actor.
Yeah.
I seriously, his first scene, I didn't even recognize him as Tom. It was later on when they were in the police station that I was like, oh my God, that's Tom Sizemore.
That's true. Well, Matt, I guess with this movie, the filming location, like, do you recognize all these places? Like, is this just like, was it just weird watching it? You're like, man, I know where all this stuff's at.
Oh, yeah, it's wild. It was really, really wild because I could nail down every single shot. There's a couple where I'm like, that looks like here, but I'm not 100%. But I'm like, yeah, that's probably either Chino Valley or Paulden or Williamson Valley on a couple of those, like the outdoor ones. But some of them, I'd say 90% of it, I could tell you exactly where they filmed it.
Man, that's really cool. I have been to Prescott quite a few times to visit Matt, but I am not an expert like he is. So I was like, that looks like Arizona. So that was cool. But I couldn't tell you where everything was.
Well, and you were here just recently, but you didn't do the tour of Prescott like you've done in the past.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a lot of time. We had things to do, but it was a lot of fun.
So one of the most prominent ones, and it's one of the only issues I have with this film. It's towards the beginning. I'm not going to... It's not a spoiler, but it's towards the beginning. There's a certain stretch of road where our good buddy Officer Frank Shankwitz is pulling people over. That is Glassford Hill in the background, and that little 2-lane highway is right off of our interstate, well, not interstate, our highway 89A that goes around town and then goes up and over and into Jerome and into Cottonwood, into Sedona, and then into Flagstaff. But that little 2-lane highway is right off that offshoot because they could shut it down and nobody get hurt and all that stuff, and they could control the thing. But it was kind of odd to see them like drive past Glassford Hill and then drive past it again when they pulled them over and then drive past it again. Yeah, anyways.
Okay. I didn't catch that, obviously, but okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a real long stretch of road, or it isn't because it's still there. But I caught it multiple times. But again, Glassford Hill is like my backyard practically because I live on the other side of Glassford Hill.
Oh, all right. All right.
I mean,
Yep, that's...
I don't live anywhere near that. Anybody that's trying to stalk me.
Oh, okay. All right. And then, Matt, what did you think of the acting in this movie? I personally really liked all the acting. There's a few characters that I liked quite a bit. The main character, Frank Shankowitz, was really good. And Kitty, I really liked both those performances. What did you think?
I thought the acting overall was great. There are some missteps here and there, but it is mostly in the child actors. But you can't hold it against them because they are children, so you can't really do that. I mean, they did a great job, but not at the level of, say, like Andrew Steele did, who played Mr. Frank Shankowitz, or Kirby Bliss Blanton, who did play Kitty, or even Tom Sizemore, or even Danny Trejo, who was in it for 5 seconds. You can't hold it like against them, you know what I mean? Because they're kids.
Right.
That's about the only misstep I saw. I thought the adult cast did wonderful. Again, the kids didn't do bad. I just think that it could have been better.
I don't think I noticed this till about the middle of the movie, but it's representing a certain time period, and I actually thought it did a pretty good job of keeping the cars and the different things pretty consistent with the time period that it was supposed to be representing.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm not 100% sure on the flashbacks, and that's another one that kind of bothered me, was the flashbacks and how they did some of the flashbacks. And I know you have issues with that, especially in our last pod with the Irishman.
Yeah, I was going to save that for the story, but I definitely kind of thought it was a little
far, but yeah,
odd.
Yeah, they're not. There's some that I'm like, okay, now when are we? You know what I mean? So I had some issues with some of that stuff. Overall, for the most part, it was great.
Yeah. This was a pretty good movie to watch, and I really hadn't heard anything besides it from you, and so I'm hoping that all of our listeners can help spread the word on this movie because this is really great. So it's on Netflix, so pretty much everyone can watch it, I guess. I feel like most of America has Netflix now.
Yeah, it just came out on Tuesday, December 3rd on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And that's a big deal. That's a real big deal that it got picked up by Netflix.
Yeah, no, that is a real big deal. And Matt, I think it's time to move on to let me know what you're drinking. What are you drinking, Matt?
Well, Mike, I'm drinking a classic, delightful Mexican beer, Dos Equis Amber.
Ooh, Dos Equis Amber. I really like Dos Equis Amber. That's a good one.
I'm just more of a fan of the amber than the lager. I mean, if there's a choice, I pick the amber, but I don't have a problem with the lagers. So, all right, Mike, go ahead. Show me what IPA you are drinking today.
All right. Well, this one goes out to Mr. Steve Stockmeyer. And this is another IPA because I know you hate that I talk about IPAs all the time, but this is the Atomizer Ultrasonic Infused. It's from Full Sail Brewing Company, which is outside of Oregon somewhere, I think. Let me see what it says. Hood River, Oregon is where this is from.
Oh, yeah, I know Full Sail. I've had a few of their other beers. But it's Steve Stockmeyer. If you call him Stockmeyer, he might get angry. All right. You know how angry those hippies can be.
I do know how angry those hippies can be.
But he does love his IPAs. It's like his favorite thing on the planet, much like you. Why is it that you hippie and hipsters and beer snobs and all that crap all are IPA? No. Stouts, ambers, lagers, Scottish style ales, that's where it's at.
I've got a really good 6-pack of stout. It's called Narwhal. Sierra Nevada makes it.
Oh, yeah.
Only
That's a
every
good stout.
other 2 years. But I'm saving that for the sports ball for tomorrow.
The sports ball.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. So what's the next thing in your structure of your list that you're looking at, since we're still quote unquote structured?
All right, Matt. So I wanted to talk about the story a little bit.
Now, is this spoiler story, or is this just story overall in impressions?
No, this is just the story overall impressions.
Okay, you're going to have to start doing the intro since you're running the show now. I'm out.
All right.
I'm just messing with you, Mike.
It started out a little bit slow for me, and was not sure why all the flashbacks, but it really came together in the third act. So I think they corrected all the things. There's one flashback in particular where there's
No spoilers.
no spoilers, where I wasn't sure what time we were in because it kind of jumped, and it was like a phone call kind of thing. I'm not spoiling, but there's a phone call placed from a place, and I wasn't sure if it was the future or if it was the past. It was a little bit too, I don't know. I felt like the editing was too quick.
Yeah, there's a couple of those that really kind of failed, in my opinion, as well. I believe I know the one you're talking about, and that's one of the ones that failed for me. And there was another one, I don't remember if it was before or after that one, that failed pretty hard for me, where I was like, hold on, wait a minute. So are we in the past of the film, or are we in the current day of the film? And it kind of tripped me up. But then again, there was one scene where they go travel to the past, which did work really well, where Frank is sleeping and it transitions into the past and a story from his past. And then something happens and he wakes up. I think it was in pain or something. And I thought that was done well.
Yeah. No, that was a good one. So I think sometimes maybe just some of the choices of where to throw in some of these snippets, and I don't know if every snippet was needed, but they did all help move the story along and give you some more background into Frank's well-being and his point of view kind of as an adult versus when he was a kid.
Yeah, what happened in his childhood that had shaped his current life.
True.
All right, Mike, so let's do this. I'm going to consider this part of the story before I start asking about MCU. Literally the most important question on this podcast. Way more important than what IPA you're drinking again. Do you recommend people to sit down and waste an hour and 47 minutes of their life watching this film? Well, I don't mean to use the word waste, but use up an hour and 47 minutes of their life watching this film on Netflix.
Absolutely, yes. I think the more people that see this, the better. I'm not sure exactly how the Netflix deals work with when a movie gets picked up like this. If they get paid per view, or if they got one lump sum or anything. But if it's per view, I really would. I'm going to tell as many people as I can to watch this. This was pretty good movie, and it's a neat story.
Well, I agree, Mike, and I have to announce that I am biased just because I do know this story quite well. I didn't know the before Michael came into the scene story well, because Frank kind of keeps that one close to his chest until he wrote his book and things like that. But I've known how the foundation or the organization, say I almost spoiled it for you, was founded. So I know all that. So I'm a bit biased. It was also filmed in Prescott, which, definitely is going to make me biased as heck. I've been anticipating this film ever since I knew they were filming it in town. I was just put in perspective. I think I was still at the paper when they first started filming this.
Wow.
And that was over 3 years ago. I'm biased as hell, but I definitely think you need to watch this film. I am sad that I did not go and watch it in the theaters and support it, but I really wanted to wait until Mike and I could see it around the same time to talk about it. And so I'm sad I didn't see it in the theaters, but I'm also not, so that you had the chance to experience it as well.
Yeah, and this was a great movie, so you should definitely watch it if you have some time.
So speaking about life-changing experiences, Mike, how does Wishman relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh man, so I was getting really nervous on this one. I looked at quite a few of the cast and I couldn't find anything. But I kept scrolling down and I found Dale Dickey. She was in Iron Man 3. She played the character Miss Davis. And she was Clover in this movie. So that was the person that they... the movie pretty much... not quite opens, but is the first scene where he's pulling over some people and then he kind of gets in a fight. Well, not the first scene. I think the second scene.
That's his second pulling over.
Yeah. At night. The night pullover.
Yeah, and I did recognize her. I didn't recognize that she was in Iron Man 3, though. But I did recognize her as a more bigger name character actor. Like, there's a lot of people I recognize, not necessarily by... name, but by sight, where I'm like, oh yeah, that dude's from this and that dude's from this, and oh hey, that's the guy from Breaking Bad. Oh my god, you know?
Oh yeah. Like, yeah, it has a really good cast. It does.
All right, Mike. Well, I'll go ahead and do it since I know this next part of the structure. No, don't choke on your beer, Mike. Don't choke on your beer.
I'm not choking on my beer.
All right, you almost did from laughing. I saw it. Anyways, from here on out, we are going to spoil Wishman 100% as much as we want. So if you do not want it to be spoiled whatsoever, go ahead and click this guy off. Or if you already know the story like I do, and a lot of people, just keep listening.
All right, man. Do you want to spoil this one? Or
I want you to start because I know this story, and you said you don't. And I am very disappointed in you, Michael.
Okay, so...
being an Arizona native, jeez.
I did not know the Make-A-Wish Foundation origin, thought it was a great way to learn about it. I feel bad. I most of my life, or at least my younger years, I grew up in Arizona, and I had no idea about any of this, which I should have. So I don't know if that's education or I don't know. I just didn't know.
Well, it's also a difference. I don't know if you felt this when you were living in Flagstaff and going to NAU. I feel it hardcore, mostly because I've been here for so long in Prescott, but there is a huge difference between northern Arizona and southern Arizona. People up here talk to each other more. They're more friendly to each other, at least for the most part. And people, tend to talk about stories and things like this all over the place. Southern Arizona, not so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely fell in love with northern Arizona, like Flagstaff. This is kind of terrible, but the part of the reason I moved to Flagstaff was to be as far away from my parents as possible.
Which I still don't understand to this day, because your mom and dad are freaking amazing.
They are, man, but I wanted to, I don't know, I wanted to break free, man.
Spread your wings and fly.
Yeah.
Fly. For those of you who don't have Skype and are not watching Mike is literally flapping his wings. It is amazing.
Yep. And then now I'm doing jazz hands.
Jazz hands. It's all about the jazz hands.
Anyway, so part of the reason I went up there, and then I thought it would be neat to be in like a mountain, because essentially Flagstaff is at 7,000 feet and there's snow and different things. It's like a whole different climate. And what I got was so much better. It's such a great place. I really just love that place, and I would have stayed there, but there's no jobs. Like it's basically a college town, and there's a couple other things, and that's it. It pretty much is just not. It's kind of like the train passes through. It's on the way. Like it's a stopover for anyone on I-40. It's not a lot of stuff there otherwise.
Well, I hate to say it, but my experience of most of northern Arizona, not all, is that exact same experience. Is that there are jobs here. They're not the world's best jobs, and it's very difficult to sustain yourself when everything in northern Arizona is more of a luxury community, because people move here that have already made a lot of money. People don't come here and make money. So it's a give and take, it's the quality of life versus the cost and all that stuff. And I mean, especially Flagstaff. I mean, Flagstaff is even worse, that's really expensive there.
Flagstaff's, the vacation homes and stuff were insane, but like that's what it was. They were just vacation homes. It's like there's all these houses that no one lives in.
And we have
crazy, man.
We have a level of that, but not as much as Flag. We do. I mean, just in my neighborhood alone, I think I was pointing it out when you were here. I was like, oh, that one is empty. That one is empty. Just my drive home in my neighborhood, there's about 7, but that's not as bad as Flag. Here, it's mostly people coming from other places that have already made their money that don't need it. And then the rest of us have just service jobs in one way, shape, or form, but we want to be here because we like the area or whatever. We'll get back on the movie about Northern Arizona, but you understand. You've understand. So anyways, I've known about this movie. I don't know if I can call Frank Shankowitz a good friend. I would consider him a friend. I have met him many, many times. I have photographed him many, many times. At my current job, literally his neighbor's house, I went and photographed and sold it. I know Frank a little bit, so I've known about this story. I've not read his book. He's going to shame me if he hears this, but I've not read his book. I need to pick it up. I would like to read it, but I've known about this story for a long time. And basically this young boy, Michael, who did pass, as you saw in the film, helped save Frank. Like, Frank changed his life and Michael changed Frank's life. And that's just incredible.
Yeah, no, and you could kind of see. I mean, I got that from the movie, and it was very interesting because I felt like Frank kind of had a gruff exterior, but it was through experience. He had been kicked on and punched and just had a rough upbringing, so he had built this massive, tough exterior, but he was actually a really caring person and stuff. And this experience really helped him to refocus and do something amazing. I couldn't even imagine that a Arizona Highway Patrol officer was like, I'm going to start a foundation. That was insane. Like, that's awesome.
That's seriously where it came from too. Like that is extremely true. And I thought it was so fitting and just floored me. I knew he was in it again when they were filming it, but that they got Robert Pine from Chips to be in this film. I thought that was just amazing. Because seriously, the kid loved Chips. That's true.
Yeah.
And here he is in the film that inspired. I mean, think about it. Robert Pine helped basically inspire the creation of the Make-A-Wish Foundation through his television program. Yes, everybody, Hollywood and all that elite and all that other BS, but you never look at the other side of it, of Hollywood and the stories and the things that inspire people to go out and do amazing things.
Yeah, no, that was neat. That was really neat. So this movie, I really went watching this, Matt, just based on, you said, this is a movie filmed in Prescott. It's on Netflix. We should watch it. Nothing really new came out. We apologize for the people that are expecting Jumanji this week. We screwed up. It's next week.
I screwed up. I was looking at what's coming soon, and I swear I thought it was this week. Oh, well. But I also offered to go see Dark Waters. I'm kind of glad we didn't. I still think that's probably a really good movie. I've heard great, great, great things about it. But I think this is more important, not even just purely based on us being a Prescott-centric podcast, but this is a great film that needs to be out there, that people need to know about, that people need to watch, because it's incredible. It's fantastic. Again, I'm biased as hell, but I love it.
Yeah, no, it is very good. I'd say the first 2 acts are pretty good, but the third act is really good. Like they nailed the end. I thought the end was really well done. How everything came together. It really was great for me. I even enjoyed the kind of like a rookie lawyer doing the interview.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a fun scene. Like that was fun.
Nailed it, because the whole time, spoilers again, the whole time you're thinking in the back of your head, oh man, this lady's trying to screw Frank. oh man, this dude is trying to screw Frank. Those cops went in there and they said, here, lie and do this and do that, and we're going to take this guy for everything. When in reality, they did wrong by getting drunk and driving drunk and fighting a cop, but they were not trying to swindle Frank at all. They clearly thought the other officer was the issue, but he just gave them the wrong name on purpose.
Yeah.
That was pretty incredible that story.
Yeah, it was.
So, all right, Mike, again, I'm biased as hell. I don't even want to tell you how many reels I'm going to give this because I'm sure you already know, but you know what? I don't care. I want to know how many reels you give it, Mike. How many? And if it's less than 5 out of 5 reels, I'm leaving the podcast forever.
Oh, man. Now I feel really guilty.
No, I don't care. I'm just messing with you.
4.5 reels. I only knocked it a half a reel for just some of the story things. And dude, they were minor, but some of the flashback things, just minor stuff. But I really loved it. 4.5 reels for me. That's strong.
That's extremely strong. But, Mike, we need to cut this shit out because it's starting again. This is now 2 weeks in a row of 2 4.5 reels. Or not 4.5 reels, same ratings for us. Because I definitely give it 4.5. Like I said earlier, couple things. The repeated use of the same background, I caught that pretty hard. But again, it's because I knew what it was. I saw it real easy multiple times on the same pole as they passed as they passed that Glassford Hill multiple times. And then the flashbacks bothered me. Those 2 that I was talking about, how they were cut in and they don't really directly tell you it's a flashback, which stumps you a little bit. And then I don't even think I downgraded it for the kids acting, but that was another issue. But I mean, shit, all that for half a reel. It's an incredible film. It was shot well. Oh, dude, speaking of that, I almost forgot. One of my favorite cinematography scenes in this movie is towards the beginning when the 2 DPS officers are plotting and scheming. Tom Sizemore's character and the other guy, and they're in the hallway and they're backlit.
Yeah, the dark.
And rule of thirds and all that. I thought that was one of the most beautiful scenes of the entire movie. Because, I mean, it's telling you, they're doing some shady shit with the backlit and all that stuff. I thought that was really well done. I really like that shot.
Yeah, that was a good shot. That was a good scene. I like that scene.
So, anyways. All right, Mike. So, what are we doing next week?
Well, I'm pretty sure we're doing Jumanji, man.
We have to now. We've been telling people for 2 weeks. There's no changing it now. We got to do Jumanji,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I think Mags is going to join me on it. I don't know exactly how well it's going to go, but we're going to do it.
Special guest, Maniacal Mags on the next podcast. Woo! That'll be fun. Yeah. You think she's going to yell at me really bad, Mike?
No. I mean, not at least on the pod.
Oh, okay. Good. I mean, because she does cuss me out every now and then on text messages, but that's different. That's different.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm joking.
Joaquin Maximus Filson.
No. Maximus Joaquin Morpheus.
Yeah.
No. Filson. Vincent.
Right.
I think that's the whole thing. Yeah. Oh, I probably still have the text message. I could pull it up.
No, I think it's fine.
All right.
Anyway.
And then Holly, what was it? Oh, you remember the name of the Joaquin Phoenix's character in Gladiator?
Oh, Decimus?
No.
Decimus.
No, it was something. Damn it.
Dude, I think it's Decimus.
Mike, look it up because your keyboard doesn't make noise. I don't think it was Decimus. I think it's something with a C. Oh, crap. I don't remember.
Commodus.
There you go. Commodus. There you go. All right. So Maximus and Commodus. Love it.
All right.
So Mike, next week, Jumanji. Week after that, what are we doing?
I think there's this movie that has some, I don't know, some characters in the sci-fi thing.
The Jedi's.
I guess
related to Mandalorians.
I guess it's kind of a big deal. I don't know. Like, looking at your background, you might know something about it. Like, Is it Star? The Wars of Star?
Is this guy gonna be in it, Mike?
The Wars of Star. I believe.
Let's see here.
I believe he
I'll
is.
show you the name.
Yes. Lando Calrissian. Yes, I believe he is.
Oh, here. This one's not from a movie though. This one is from a TV show.
Oh,
Did you see that?
Matt.
Can you see that?
Yeah. So. I haven't asked you any of this at all, so I'm just going to be blindsiding.
No. Shh. We are now in the unstructured part where we can talk about whatever the hell we want according to Mike's structure. All right, Mike, go for it. Where are you going to ask me? Is it going to be good or is it going to be bad?
I'm going to blindside you.
Like the movie?
Matt, no. Well, I mean, no, not like the movie.
Okay.
Matt, what do you think about us doing some kind of like Nakatomi Tower like episode or something?
Nakatomi Tower episode?
Yeah, like just some like Die Hard episode, like some like holiday edition where we talk about Die Hard like every year.
Oh, you just want to review Die Hard again?
Yeah, like
you know what?
Like, what if
you know what? I'll do you one better. All right, I'll do you one better. Let's do Die Hard 2. We did Die Hard last year, Mike. All right, fine.
All right,
you just want
I
to
don't
review
know.
Die Hard again? Screw it. We'll do Die Hard again for Christmas. You know what? Let's just make it a tradition. That is the Real Film Nerds podcast traditional review. The week of Christmas, you're going to get Die Hard again. And it will not be the one from last year. It'll be a new one. And
yeah, we'll just keep reviewing it, dude.
I gotta go
and I'll
look up
I'll
my reels.
re-listen to the old one, and I'll make sure I talk about different stuff.
Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. But yes, let's do it. Mike, let's do it. Every year, Die Hard. And this year, if you can figure it out, Maniacal Mags again. I want more mags.
All right, if we can figure it out.
I want more mags.
But Matt, also, speaking of that episode thing, do you want to have a pre-expectations viewing or talk before we see the Star Wars?
Well, do you want to do it that week or do you want to do it right now for the podcast? Oh, no, you know what? We would do it next week at the end of Jumanji, after Jumanji. You want to do it at the end of Jumanji?
Okay.
Because I don't really want to do like a completely separate podcast. I think like adding it in, but we'll only do like, I don't know, we'll just make it
like
long.
15 minutes?
Yeah, we'll do 15, 20 minutes. Real Film Nerd super fan, Steve Stockmeyer, as Mike likes to call him, Stockmar.
No, Stockmar, sorry.
The hippie down in Phoenix, loves our podcast, knows that I'm a giant Star Wars nerd, loves to poke my buttons, but he put a suggestion, I think it was on my Facebook page, or was it Real Film Nerds? I don't remember. It was one of them.
I don't.
He would love
somewhere.
to hear Mike and I's thoughts, opinions, predictions on the new Star Wars film, Rise of Skywalker, before the film comes out, much like what we've done in the past with sister podcasts, Mile High Show and the Blue Milk Podcast. But they're both really busy and don't have time to do it. So Mike and I will just do it on our own. Let's do it, Mike. I say next week. Let's do it after Jumanji.
Okay.
Does that work?
All right. So, yeah, I'll make sure I have some good things to talk about. I'm not as up to date as you are on the Wars of Star, but I have a few days. I have Disney Plus. We'll make it happen.
Well, I'm trying to stay away from everyone that's doing these predictions and spoilers and look what we found scoop kind of shit. I'm trying to stay away from that. I'm trying to only stick to the trailers. I have my own predictions. They're probably completely wrong, but we'll see. I'm not going to write anything down. I'm just going to go off the top of my head, but we'll figure it out. I think it'll be fun. It'll be a cool discussion, especially if you like the wars. So let's look forward to that for next week, along with our review of Jumanji. If we haven't told you enough, Jumanji. As they said in the trailer, who was it? The Rock playing a caricature of Danny DeVito. Jumanji.
Yeah, Jumanji.
All right, Mike, I think I'm done. I don't think I have anything else other than go watch Wishman, tell your friends, make your family sit down and watch it with you. It is a great holiday film to watch with your family.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Follow us on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Real Film Nerds. All right. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
Matt Hinshaw from the Real Film Nerds podcast joining me in studio now on Magic 99.1. Happy Monday, Matt.
Merry Monday.
Merry Monday.
I like Merry
that
Monday.
Even better.
That sounds better, right?
It does. It absolutely does. How are you?
Good. How are you, Lisa?
I'm good. I'm excited to hear what you thought about Wishman, the movie.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row I've done Netflix, but I think this one makes a lot of sense because Wishman was, I can confirm at least 90% of it was filmed here in Prescott.
Right.
It is based on a Prescott hero. Well, now he's a Prescott hero. He moved here.
Yes.
Many years ago.
Right.
It's the story of Frank Schenkowitz, the founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Okay.
And this did come out a while ago. The reason why I want to talk about it, the reason why I watched it and I waited to watch it, it came out on Netflix last Tuesday. And this
good.
is an incredible film, especially for the holidays. Extremely emotional. It stars Andrew Steele and Kirby Bliss Blanton, Tom Sizemore, Danny Trejo. The cast is just spectacular. The story, I'm sure a lot of you know it, is incredible. This is a great film. I really loved it.
Okay, I'm excited to hear that. I've not seen the film. I know a lot of people in our area have seen it because it was filmed here and a lot of people are in it. But so definitely check it out. It's on Netflix. Easy to find.
Easy to find. It was a small opening when it opened. They did have a premiere here at Yavapai College with Frank and the director, and everyone came out. I didn't go. I should have gone, but I didn't. I was working. Things happen. And I think it was only in the theaters here for a few weeks because it is a small independent film, which is tough to keep in movie theaters even when it is filmed in your town.
Sure.
So this is the perfect opportunity to go see it. I'm trying to tell everyone I know, go watch it. This is a great film. I don't want to say it's a lot of fun. It's very emotional. It's very poignant. It has lots of things to live by. I highly recommend it. And
you better give it 5 reels out of 5.
I'm close.
I'm
I'm real close.
Okay, where
real
you at?
close. Now, I was going to say I've given 5 reels before, just not on the radio. This will be my first time above 4. It's 4.5 because there's. Granted, it's because I know the area. There's a couple scenes where they're like on the highway and they drive past Glassford Hill like 3 times on the same car chase. So I'm like, I can't let that one slide.
Okay.
But that only dropped it a half a reel.
Fair enough.
So definitely see it. It's an incredible film.
All right. Check out Matt's podcast. It's the Real Film Nerds podcast. Thank you for being here this morning with me on Magic 99.1.
Thanks again, Lisa.
You're welcome.